Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we are going to be talking about the new Too Faced Gingerbread Extra Spicy palette that just recently launched. I was able to get this early from the Sephora event that Sephora held in LA earlier this month, but it is now available to the public. You can actually get this palette right now. I think it's available on Sephora, Ulta, and the Too Faced website. It retails for $49, and then this is the packaging. Super adorable, and then here's the inside. So basically this palette is kind of the second version of the gingerbread spice palette that released last year for holiday. I'll show you guys. I have it here. We're going to be comparing the two and swatching some similar shades in the palettes to see which one you might prefer or if they're like too similar. So this is the original gingerbread spice. You could still buy this palette today, which is awesome. So they have it available I think on Ulta and Too Faced, and I think I saw it on Macy's as well. Same price. These are the colors in here. I do have a review on this palette. I will link in the description if you guys want to check out my thoughts on this one. But I do really enjoy this one, and I have loved it for last year. It was my favorite palette that came out for the holidays last year, and I used it a lot. The formula of this one is very good. Very usual Too Faced quality in these like tin palettes, which is my favorite. Let me show you guys these hand in hand so you can get an idea of what they look like. So on top is the original, and on the bottom is the new. From looking at them, they do look very similar. You're kind of like, well, like those look like the same thing. But when you really look up close, there is quite a few differences in the palettes. The original kind of has more shimmers in it than the new one. The new one has more mattes, and I feel like this one's kind of more jewel tones, while the new one is kind of more like fall tones in my opinion. So I don't know, this one's definitely more Christmassy and this one's definitely more fall, but there was a few shades that were similar, but honestly the shades were pretty different in the palettes. One of my favorite shades in this palette is Spiked Eggnog. It is beautiful, and it's a beautiful shimmer. There's really nothing like it in the new one, unfortunately, but there is a few shimmers in here. They're just a little bit darker, but I love that this one's like a really light, beautiful champagne shade. But yeah, I love this palette. It's super good, and I've gotten to play with this one a couple times, and I'm going to be showing you guys the look I did today using it as well. I also have an Instagram video using this palette too if you guys want to see a different look, but to me, the extra spicy, it's gonna have more of those matte tones, definitely more like fall looks. There's a few shimmers in here, which I think it has like the perfect amount. There's not too many, because honestly, like I don't really use the bright colored shimmers, and this one, like the purples and the pinks that are in here, I don't use them a ton. And I think this one's a little bit more wearable than the previous one. So I feel like there is some differences that you could justify having both of them. Especially loving this yellow butterscotch shade. It is stunning. I used it on my eyes today, especially if you guys like those matte tones. I think you guys would really like this if you're a fan of the Just Peachy mattes. I think this one would be a favorite as well. But if you guys are more into fun, shimmery jewel tone colors, then I think you would like this one. So real quick, I'm going to go ahead and do some swatches and comparison. I'll swatch both palettes and show you guys the similar shades in each of them. Alright, so I wanted to go over some of the similar shades in the palettes compared to each other, or the dupes as I would call it. So, swatched here. First up, we have vanilla wafers from the extra spicy compared with powdered sugar from the gingerbread spice. These two are pretty much the same. I would say the powdered sugar performs a little bit better in swatches, so the older palette kind of wins with that shade. Next up, we have these two oranges. The first one is extra spicy from the extra spicy palette, and then this one is Spice is Nice from the gingerbread spice. These have similar tones. I feel like they'd look very similar on the eyes, but obviously the one from the gingerbread extra spicy is darker, it packs more pigment, so there's kind of the differences. I thought these two were also similar. The top one is gingerbread glam from the extra spicy palette, which is a little bit more pigmented, and then the gingerbread shade from the gingerbread palette. I feel like this is so confusing. Anyways, those are some of the dupes. Let me show you guys a couple more I found. All right, here is some more comparisons. Sorry, I got a little sideways there. I suck at swatches. Anyways, so I feel like I swatched these four because they all looked kind of similar. This first one is Drizzle It from the gingerbread extra spicy compared to Bake It Till You Make It from the original Gingerbread. And then I also swatched it next to Oh Snap from the original Gingerbread to see how that compared, but that one was more matte. And then this one right here is, I think, Cinnamon from the Gingerbread Extra Spicy. So those were kind of similar, but there's really not any like major dupes in that area. Oh goodness. Okay, let me go sideways here. This one here, this shade here is for the gram compared to Gingerbread Latte from the original. This one's from Extra Spicy. Those two are pretty similar. And then this gold right here is Half Baked compared to this one from the original, which is Warm and Toasty. Those two have different undertones, so they're definitely different. And then these two surprised me at the end because I didn't think they'd be similar, but they actually are. The first one is Cookie Call from the Extra Spicy, and the bottom one is Reindeer Paws from the original palette. As you can see, there's really only a few shades that are similar. Yes, if you guys are super picky, you're gonna be like, these are like the same thing, I don't need both. But if you're a crazy makeup junkie like me, you can definitely spot the differences in between the two. And I like them both for different reasons because I think I want both of them in my life. I don't like one more than the other. I do feel like this one is a little bit better quality, I would say, just because the shadows seemed a lot more creamy, but they are very similar. Both of them are that like really good Too Faced quality that these tins have. Usually the tin packaging is always the best, and I would say that these are better than most of their other holiday palettes. Like you could skip everything else and just go for one of these, and I think that you would be perfectly fine with that. So I'm going to show you guys a tutorial using this palette so you guys could see a fun look with it. So let's get right into that. Okay, so first up I am priming my eyes with the NARS Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. This one's a little bit tinted, so it's just gonna kind of cover up any veins or anything, but I really like this one if I want my eyeshadow to last pretty much all day, and I do have a photo shoot later today, so I really do need this to stay on. Next, I'm going to set the primer with the Vanilla Wafers shade here in the Extra Spicy palette, and I pretty much always set all my primers. I always say this in every video, but it just helps all the shadows blend better. Next, I'm going to go in with For the Gram, which is this like transition shade right here, and that's going to go right up in the crease. This one kind of has, I don't know if it's my brush, but this shade has quite a bit of fallout to it. Next, I am going to take the shade Gingerbread Glam right here and put this into the crease as well. I kind of like to start with something lighter and then add the darker colors as I go. For our photo shoot today, we're going to an apple orchard, so I want to do something like really fall inspired. So I'm really deepening that shade up. I never really talk about this, but yes, my full-time job, I do work for the Pulse Boutique as a model and also do stuff with their social media as well, which sometimes I tell people my job and they're just like, you're a model? Because obviously I'm not like a size 0. I usually wear a size large, but I really feel like it's helpful because like we need to see models too. Like we need to see how clothes look on our body types as well. And it sucks like if you go to a site, you have no clue what to order, but it helps to have like maybe a size large model so you can see how it would fit you and someone closer to your size. You can get a better idea. So yeah, I really like it. I wish more sites would have that option because it would be so much more helpful. Like instead of having always like a size 0, like a small chest, like you can't really tell how clothes are gonna fit you, and a lot of tops can be like really fitted in the chest and you just never know. So yeah, I wish more sites would do that, but yeah, I love it. I think it's so much fun, and I wish that would become more of a norm in today's society. I feel like you're either like an extra small or you're plus size for models, and there's not really anything in between. But I'm not like a professional or anything. It's literally very casual. It's not like something I do as a professional. I literally, like when I worked at Maurice's, I just love taking selfies, kind of like bloggers do, and I thought this would be something fun to try, so that's how I got the job. Anyways, next I'm gonna go ahead and take a deeper color. I want to use, actually I kind of want to take a little bit of this butterscotch shade and put that in the crease as well, just to add some more dimension to this look. I feel like this could be really pretty. I love yellows lately and golds. It's like my jam for fall. And then I'm gonna go ahead and use the shade Cookie Call right here, that deeper brown, and that's gonna go in my outer corner. This brown shade, I don't know what it is with Too Faced browns, but I don't know, they really struggle with making a really good dark blendable brown. So usually I know with theirs I have to like start really small and then build up. Otherwise it can start looking really patchy, like this one kind of is right now. But yeah, I kind of wish they would just like improve their formula, but it is a really pretty shade and it goes well with the whole like look with this really pretty rich chocolatey brown. But yeah, just be careful with the Too Faced brown. Start small and then build up. And then I also kind of like to add a little bit more of my transition shade and blend that together as well right in the crease, so then it just kind of flows a little bit better that way. So now I'm gonna go ahead and add some shimmer to the lid, because you guys know that's like my go-to thing. So I want to use the shade Half Baked right here. I think this one will be gorgeous. And I did wet my brush as well. Oh yes, this look is like so fall. I'm taking that brush that I used for the dark color and I'm just going back and forth to blend those two together so there's not a weird line. So I grabbed my Marc Jacobs Earthquake eyeliner. This one is a really nice brown and I'm just going to line on my waterline here. And I'll tightline here too. Next I'm going to take a smudge brush here and we're going to go in with Gingerbread Glam and smoke out the lower lash line. Alright, so that looks pretty good. I'm going to do the rest of my makeup sped up here and then we'll get back into the review. Alright, so that makeup look came out amazing. I'm super pleased with it. It's very fall. I really do like this palette. I think the quality is very good and definitely a fun extra one to have in addition to the Gingerbread Spice. I will keep and love both of them. Let me know your opinions down below. Do you guys think they're too similar? Can you guys spot the differences in between them? Let me know if you're going to be picking up one or the other. It's awesome that they're both still available, but yeah, I really do like this one and I would definitely recommend it if you guys are looking for something new to try, especially for fall. This one is perfection. So I didn't really have too much trouble with the shades. The only one is that brown one, but like I was saying in the tutorial, just like start small with it and then build it up and then you can really blend it out to be what you want, because the Too Faced dark browns can be a little bit hard to work with. But other than that, I really didn't have a problem with any of the other shades. The shimmers are beautiful, the mattes performed well, and they had a lot of pigment, which is awesome. So yeah, that's gonna be my thoughts on the new Gingerbread Extra Spicy palette from Too Faced and a little comparison between the original Gingerbread. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye guys.